Do you remember, Rook, when I mentioned another ceremony I must perform at the Memorial Gardens? The time has come. I was hoping you'd accompany me again.
More grave lighting?
No, this would be a more personal visit. Whenever you've time.
I'd nearly finished the chant of the Starless Dawn when a wisp startled me. I had to start over.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Lich. That's Old Tavine for corpse, isn't it?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
You think that's good?
I was their first living petitioner in some time. The Liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
That's great for a necromancer, right?
It is a singular opportunity.
Good?
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
blue creep vine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for Lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! A promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
Emmerich, you've spent your life preparing for this, and it could still fail.
You say nothing that hasn't hounded me. Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
Oh, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the Necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness, or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleanora Volcarin. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
It'd be impossible, I agree.
Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time, an endless source of power.
A lantern that sucks the life out of people.
Their very souls. But we know where Johanna will be.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
So let's put your old roommate down.
Colleague, never roommates, thank goodness. Oh, Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise. Okay, so the plan is basically to sneak around, find Hezenkos's lantern, and smash it. That's quite a crowd over in the manor.
Johanna's gathering. If she's mingling there, we'll be spotted. Fortunately, we have someone who could pass as a servant.
You don't think he'll stand out?
There'll be other undead servants. I'd be surprised if Johanna recognized him. You know, she never truly appreciated Manfred's cleverness. Right, Manfred. You're to find Johanna's guests and help us gather information on where her workshop might be. We'll be watching in case anything occurs.
Something's going to occur.
Once we find and destroy Johanna's lantern, we'll end whatever she's planning. Hopefully before she introduces the lantern to her guests.
That should be enough time for Manfred to blend in as a servant.
Let's find a place inside to observe him, quietly.
Right. Let's find another way in.
Johanna's last guests must already be in attendance.
There's a lot of people here. Hezenkos must be planning to drain their souls with her lantern.
What's she gonna do with them?
Raise more undead, I'd wager. But no ordinary revival would require such a massive store of magic. There are far fewer corpses here than there should be.
Sounds like the party's in that main hall where we confronted Hezenkos.
Perfect. We can watch Manfred discreetly from the balconies.
And see if Hezenkos has that lantern on her.
There's Manfred. And Johanna.
But no lantern.
Now, you were saying about a shrine in the manor.
Yes, a shrine revealed by a spectral tome, which, as an expert, I could read if our host ever lets me into the library.
An ancestral shrine. I could question the deceased there about the location of Johanna's lantern.
Well, if the book can lead us to the shrine, let's hit the library.
I'm just waiting for our host's grand announcement.
My invitation was so unexpected. I thought Hezenkos despised me after I beat her to an unsealed crypt some years back.
The library's to the east, right? Where we closed Hezenkos' portal into the Fade.
Right. But why come all the way back here?
Johanna must have a workshop hidden here, likely where she's prepared whatever she plans to empower with this lantern.
Undead, watch out!
Johanna's creatures. We must deal with them quickly. I'd expected Johanna to post more guards.
Maybe she didn't want to scare her guests. Let's see if we can find that book pointing to the ancestral shrine. What about this? That book just snarled at me.
Ah, there's our spectral tome. Well done.
It's not opening.
One must be delicate. That guest of Johanna's claimed to be an expert in spectral literature.
And was interested in the shrine. Let's have Manfred hand him the book, see what he says. waiting for us. Manfred, take this tome to the man asking about the shrine, please.
Don't worry. We'll watch from the balcony.
What's this? The Spectral Guide to Blackthorn Manor? Shh, there now. I only want to look up one thing. Ah, there is an ancestral shrine in the northwest wing.
Perfect. Let's go to the shrine.
Yes, the deceased there should be most helpful in finding Johanna's lantern. This way to the shrine.
I'd love to go to this kind of party. Not one with Hezenkos exactly, but with other mages. You're probably swapping all kinds of theories.
These gatherings aren't always so academically minded, Bellara. Though I did overhear a lecturer in mathematics arguing about a new form of geometry with the bursar from Cumberland.
Maybe you can introduce me. I mean, after Hezenkos.
shrine's locked.
We must find a... Manfred?
What's he got there? Is this a key to the shrine?
Excellent, Manfred. Oh my! A body from the house of the Verheims, prepared during the Storm Age.
We can come back for it after.
Excellent idea.
Time to find Hezenkos. He's all yours, Emmerich.
By flame and seal, by light and flood, open your eyes once more.
Who dares disturb?
Friends to the dead.
Friends, this one was abandoned, lost.
Emmerich, it's getting noisy.
He's unusually obstinate. Speak! Where is Hezenkos?
Prove yourselves. What claim have you to the deceased? A willing dead companion. This one concedes. Hezenkos makes a thing that should not be. Red tapestry. Look there.
Rook, did you hear that? Manfred just...
I know. Also, we should move.
Oh, he can talk. Manfred, say something else. Come now, you just spoke.
We have to go.
Yes, yes.
More undead.
Anna's work. We're on the right track.
That red tapestry. This wall looks... Ha! Secret door.
Manfred, could you please squeeze through and open the door from the other side? Aha! I knew I didn't imagine him speaking.
How can Manfred talk now?
He began as a wisp that embodied what most wisps do: curiosity. I knew he was learning quickly outside the necropolis, but this level of complexity is remarkable.
That's incredible, I think.
Isn't it? He's so precocious. Good work, Manfred.
Hope this leads to where Hesenkos is keeping that lantern.
I can only imagine what she's planning to use it for. Shrine.
Is anyone else suddenly freezing?
This must lead to Johanna's workshop.
What's that through the wall?
Oh my word!
Wow, how did she do this?
I thought you and your little friends might worm your way into my party, Volkaren.
Johanna, even half-lich, you can't control something this massive.
Ha! Such little faith!
That glow on the skeleton up there. That's Hesenkos' lantern.
She's going to use the life stored in it to reanimate that monstrosity. Quickly, we must reach the lantern.
This is a revenge list.
Johanna was never one to refuse a long and complex grudge.
People from the party. You.
Unsurprising?
And Manfred.
How dare she?
I'm seeing why Hezenkos failed that Lich morality test.
We must make haste to that lantern. Unbelievable! Johanna's stolen a chamber from the Grand Necropolis and transposed it under Blackthorn Manor.
I'd say that should be impossible, but, well, we've been to Arlathan.
The Necropolis's wards here are still intact. No wonder we couldn't sense what she's been creating.
Don't think I can't sense your undead lackey sneaking about.
Oh, I wish Manfred had stayed above.
They'll be fine. We'll handle this. release that ladder?
Yes! Thank you, Manfred. Now find somewhere safe.
There's the lantern. You're gonna free the spirits inside.
We must, before we can destroy it.
Like back when you were freeing those spirits Hezenkost trapped in the manor. That took a lot out of you.
I must try, Rook.
Emmerich!
There are too many trapped spirits. I'm sorry. I can't. Another lash of power might end me.
What's that, Volkaren? Afraid to chance death for your precious spirits? For all your fine words on the subject, only I had the courage to risk my life for our art.
The art of what? Destroying a city?
Do you ever stop prattling?
Johanna! Listen to me! You're right. I've never overcome fear of that final dark. I miss having a friend that could.
Yes. Always the idealist.
I'm sorry Lichdom failed you. I swear I would have helped you had you come to me. But puppeting this creature...
Puppet? Puppet? Do you think I'm staying a failed lich? I won't command my greatest creation! I will become it! Colleagues, interfering Templars, inept rivals, you all have a place in my heart. And tonight you will fuel my ascension at the cost of your miserable lives.
Move!
You think you can stop me? Once I get rid of you, I will merge with my greatest work and conquer this city!
Emmerich, can she do that?
Yes! She's attempting full possession with the life of the people here.
We need to stop Hezenkost long enough to destroy that lantern.
That much life inside it. The backlash.
We don't have a choice.
Once I destroy you wretches, my union with my creation will be complete. Run, Volkaren. Scurry like the rat you are. I can't believe you brought your ridiculous pet skeleton with you.
His name is Manfred.
Aren't you persistent? Fine. I'll go down there myself.
About time.
Silence! I'll crush you myself if I must. It's touching that you brought your new friends to die with you, Volkaren. I'll be sure to bury you all in the same tomb!
can't break the lantern.
You think I'd leave myself vulnerable to you? Enough playing! Your pointless lives will fuel my triumph!
Amplified innervation!
She's draining life from us. We must find shelter.
Right. You can't free the spirits in that lantern.
It might kill me and not even work. No living thing can approach it and... Manfred! Come back!
Any last words, Volkaren, before I... You miserable little...
Manfred!
Manfred knew you could do this. So do I.
By the spirits bound here, night and shadow, light and blood.
What are you doing?
Let your chains loosen. Let the fade draw close.
You'll never succeed, you old fool!
I release you to the air.
No! You small-minded...
Emmerich, how's Manfred holding together?
We must go to the necropolis. His body could only take so much. But I underestimated him, Rook. What bravery in the heart of the dead. And how he grew. Manfred disobeyed me beautifully. He was his own soul at the end.
Can you bring him back?
I will ask.
Emric Volkaren. You were not expected so soon.
So, handshakes now, or...?
Not quite yet. My lord, I come regarding Manfred, my fallen companion.
Yes, there are ways to return his spirit. But should you do this, Lichdom falls from your grasp.
What? Why?
Lichdom is long. If I'm to stand outside death, I must make peace with others passing through it.
What would we otherwise become? How many exceptions till tyranny? Revive him and remain mortal. Or let him slumber and join us.
Emmerich.
Manfred chose to help us. Am I too weak to accept his well-earned rest? I yearn for Lichdom Rook. That leap into something greater, that everlasting light. Do I revive him and live out my days? Or do I honor death by letting him rest and protect this world through immortality?
Emmerich, Lichdom is your life's work. Your dream.
I imagined I knew its price. If I haven't even the strength to accept Manfred's sacrifice, I would outlive you all, Rook.
Would you still remember us?
Always. Kept alive in Lichdom's immortal memory. Death's swift touch, held back for all time.
If you really want to go beyond death, I think you have what you need to let all of us rest.
And peace shall follow. You're right. After I make my farewells, I will undergo the last rites of lichdom. And Rook, thank you.
Emmerich probably has to prepare before becoming a lich. I should see how he's doing. Why is it so cold in?
Greetings.
Rook, you remember Vorgoth? We were discussing some preparations for my lichdom.
I shall be with you until the end.
They sound supportive.
Vorgoth is doing me a great favor.
Good. Not going to ask what, but good.
I've so much to do. Crafting a glamour, for example. After lichdom, I'll need an illusion of my mortal appearance for polite company.
Good call.
I've told Harding about the ritual. I'll inform the others afterwards. Rook, would you accompany me during the final rites as witness to my lichdom?
Of course.
Thank you. When you have time, I'll send word to the necropolis.
We have discovered more spirits causing ruin. Kindly correct them.
What's this lichdom rite actually like?
I must pass through the gates and meet the oldest forces in the necropolis. A final appraisal of my soul.
Hail the living! Emric Volkarin and his chosen witness. Rock, the challenger who has rebuked the cruel elven gods.
Collect yourselves for the right.
I'm afraid this is as far as you're permitted. If anything should perchance go wrong, what things we've already seen. Thank you for taking me on, Rook.
There's not another necromancer I'd rather have by my side.
Truly?
Truly. Good luck, Emric.
I am come to be judged by the dead.
Emmerich?
I see so much more clearly now. The deeper eddies of the Fade, the pulse of the necropolis. I have been through blood and darkness, and I have emerged into light.
You look so happy, Emmerich.
I am gifted with an existence few have even dreamed of. All thanks to a friend who helped me find a clear and steady heart. Thank you for coming, everyone. Please, bear with me. This will be rather difficult to explain. I may appear the same as always, as I stand before you, but I've recently undergone a ritual that...
I thought you'd have a skull face, like a skeleton.
It must be his glamour. It's really something, Professor. I can't sense you're a lich at all.
How? But who told you?
That tall watcher in the cloak mentioned it.
Vorgoth? Oh, that chatterbox.
So, the lich stuff is true, and you crossed that line.
A lich? Look at Emmerich. Flesh and blood and everything.
He looks pale.
He always looks pale.
I have questions.
You needn't speak about me as if I'm not here.
Just tell me you'll keep your skin on.
That's not how it...
I should take notes.
Look, why don't we just start from the beginning?
Are you satisfied? Yes, I have entered lichdom, and I am not an abomination, or a demon, or a disconsolate spirit. I have become something more. And yet I am still fully possessed of myself.
So you are a skeleton. Got it.
I'm not packing up Emmerich's 15,000 books and skulls, so...
Thank you, Rook, but please, allow me. I'd like to think some of us have become friends. I value that more than you might know. But I am changed, and I would never cause you distress by staying where I'm no longer welcomed.
You're no weirder than you were before.
I've seen worse with the Wardens.
You all... Really?
I think you'll be fine.
Okay, now, question time.